Let's see if anybody's out there this morning. Anybody there? Hi. Hello, hi. Hi. Okay, people. I was going to do a few short videos on my page, and then I thought it's easier just to do a live. I'm still in my pajamas and extremely tired, so sorry. Because, as you know, we've had a surge. There's an incoming, and it's going to not ease off. We've had an incoming surge of light, which is multidimensional for some that don't know. Multidimensional light, radiation, sun, solar flares, CMEs coming into the planet. It was part of the whole ascension process. So we've got now a solstice coming up. And if you notice, the energies have increased, the light's increased. So we will have... It's going to affect power grids, earth, volcanoes, earthquakes, everything, right? This is what's happening on the earth. The earth is purging and recalibrating physically. You are purging and recalibrating physically. So we've had another surge, and it's gradually increasing, if you noticed, up probably to the solstice again, because we obviously know the solstice is a big date as well. So it's already starting gradually. We've got a spike now going on of incoming light, which you can see with your third eye as well. So last night at 2 o'clock, bingo, there I am. I went to sleep at about 10-ish, after 10 anyway. And then at 2 o'clock, I am lying wide awake. So pretty much most of the evening after that, I don't know, I went to sleep again maybe at around 4. No. And then I got woken up by the fire alarm this morning at 7:30. In my pajamas, running around upstairs trying to figure out why the fire alarm's going off, and bumped into the fire brigade in the stairs. I'm like, oh, this is just interesting morning. No fire, so back inside. I'm not tired anymore, so it's no going back to sleep. It's my sleep gone, fire brigade and all. So there's a faulty fire alarm, which that was an early morning wake up for me. Anyway, hello people. Yeah, no, you won't. This is what's going on. You are physically, and you're getting downloads, because last night with the upgrades, right? As this light hits the physical vessel, your body's taking on more light. Your cells, your body's regenerating. Your cells are starting to vibrate faster and higher to match the energies, because we're fourth dimension. We're not 3D anymore. So as Earth, so as we're going up, so does your body have to, adjust. So your physical body is going to adjust, and you're going to feel it. You're going to be exhausted, you may be overtired, up and down. As it depends on you when it starts, and how much, light you're holding, and, where you are on the journey, whether you're consciously or unconsciously doing this. So for those of us that are consciously doing as well, my body is still, I can feel my cells, while I'm talking to you, vibrating. Zzz, they're buzzing. So I can feel my cells going zzz. They are wide awake. That's why I say so was I. So you can actually feel them. And when it's coming in. I can feel it when it comes into the planet, and it hits the body when the body starts. So the body's recalibrating that. So what this is going to entail, besides, downloads, you're going to get more like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake, and information starts coming down, and now new revelations, right? New knowledge. Because remember, the more of it activates, the more of your DNA activates, the more memory, the more access you have to that information, than multidimensional, the quantum field, or whatever you want to call it, right? So now you will start, more things, more revelations will come to you, knowing. So last night stuff came to me. I'm 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. So I had another aha moment of things that are in people's lives and why they're happening to people. It's just part of the, this whole process of it's like the cash sort of experience, why we have these experiences and whatever. Anyway, don't ask me. I don't remember, because I was woken up by a fire alarm subsequently, not shortly after that. So there we are. So you're going to get downloads, which is information also coming in, or maybe new past lives or whatever, purging. Remember, some of these things, like I was shown, are things that are, which is interesting for me now. Stuff's coming up, and I noticed the pattern. In the last 2-3 days, things are coming into my mind, and I'm thinking, that's strange. And now I can see there's a pattern. So you're going to, I don't know about you, where you are on your journey and how much clearing you're still going to do, but things will pop up. So now it's other things, not major things, like they all have the same theme, have just come into my consciousness now in the last 3 days. I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're trying to tell me something here. Because in the last 3 days, I'm thinking about incidences that happened in this life, which are very similar, relating to the same thing. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I cocked up there. Yeah, I definitely cocked up. I cocked up a lot in this life as the human, as the human identity. Oh, did I cock up grandly? I can't, it wasn't, it wasn't a clean, good ride, people. I made a lot of mistakes. Let me use the non-French, non-politically correct word, which is appropriate. You can say that, really fucked up. And when you can say that to yourself, I remember someone told me, it was actually a great relief for me once, because when I had a really bad incident and someone said to me, you know what, because we forget to forgive ourselves, and you can turn around and say, you know what, I really fucked up. And it's a relief. It's a very good thing, to be able to. So I managed to, a couple, I don't know, 2000 something, I remember, whatever it was, something had happened. And it was bad. And I thought, oh, wow, And you just judge yourself, because now you think, oh my gosh, I made a bad decision. I should have known. I shouldn't have done. How come I didn't see that? You know what you do when you asleep still. And then someone said to me, you know what, you just got to say, just admit, I just fucked up. And there we are, let it go. And it was actually a great word of advice, because I felt much better when I happened to say, yes, actually, I really fucked up. But anyway. And then you could just admit it and let it go. Forgive yourself. There we are. So, these are going to come through people's lives. So now this is nothing new to people that are on the path. But what I'm going to give you a little heads up on is there's a lot more light coming into the planet. Okay? What came to me this morning in my meditation, besides many other things, is because of this light, understand, it's pushing out people's darkness. So we're going to see people losing things that no longer serve them. Like husbands, jobs, anything, everything. That things that it isn't for your highest good, right? That you're not doing, it's not your purpose, you shouldn't be on, or whatever it is. We're going to see more of those divorces, job loss, whatever it is, people just losing things that shouldn't be in their life. We know that people that have been through that path, you'll know it's painful, but it's a painful path, but there's a silver lining, which I did talk about. So some things that look bad doesn't necessarily mean they are, but also understand with this push up of light, it's going to push, as you know, it's a purge, it's pushing darkness up, right? So it's going to push up the darkness in people. So you're going to see more bad behavior, all right? The people that don't want to let it go or whatever else, or are frightened, they won't accept their own shadow or darkness, don't want to look at it, don't want to accept it, are looking out there, it's that. They're going to be more on more of the witch hunt. They're looking for that darkness. So there'll be more anger, rage, or bad, whatever. People that are stuck in the darkness, right, really darkness, are going to be... So we can see some really panicked behavior, bad behavior, that's, okay, that absolute fear. Understand, it's purging. And it's not going to be, it depends on the person. It's not going to be a smooth ride for everybody, because some people don't want to face that darkness. It's too frightening, it's too bad, they've got too much darkness in them. It's going to be projected out there. As you see, it's getting more, Another thing, which I can give you a heads up on, it's going to cause, obviously, more awakening, because we're going to have, as it is now, really increasing. And it's doing it on a gradual scale, because otherwise, some humans will just drop in the street. And especially if you've got things like pacemakers and too much light comes in, some people, it's going to cause people to leave the planet, because their physical vessel is either too old, not able to handle the upgrades or the light. Understand, we will lose people through illness and things like that, because it is too much. The recalibration, the whole adjustment for the body, or the not looking after the body, is going to make them leave the planet. Okay, so there's one. As I did mention before, we can lose people, depends on, especially if we have a big surge. We will lose, it'll affect the planet, it'll increase, when we have a spike, it'll increase like volcanic activity when it hits the planet, same thing, or comes incoming. Earthquakes will spike, so all these kind of things. It can really, it's a real purge of all scales, micro and macro. Okay, so we can see volcanic activities, massive more earthquakes, maybe tsunami, Earth is doing her recalibration, and the humans are doing yours. Right? So we're going to see an increase on people awakening, okay? A spiritual awakening next year, you watch, I don't know. So I think after the solstice, maybe more of a spike in light. If we see quite a big spike coming in, I saw a lot of light coming into the planet. So if we have another, real good one, we might lose our power and comms as well. But what that'll also do is cause a massive more like a spiritual. So more people are going to be a spiritual awakening, put it that way. After this, by the time December hits, we're going to have a lot more people waking up. Okay, so this extra light that's coming in, it has good and bad, right? Because it's purging. So we're going to see the purging side of it in all aspects. Okay, so just watch out for people's behavior. Okay, because if people are really tormented by their darkness, they're going to be panicked and can get dangerous. Like putting a rat. You trap a rat in a corner, it's desperate, it lashes out. So you're going to see desperate behavior, as we notice even other people. Depends what they're buying into, depends on what also rubbish they're being fed on the social media. People are being fed a lot of darkness, a lot of fear, a lot of witch hunt out there. And, they're choosing it as their truth as well. Yeah. So yes, okay, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see it's going to push up, and it will affect Earth. And so expect a lot more people waking up to like, what the heck is going on here? Which it's a bumpy ride. Remember, because when they first wake up, my gosh, it's like, oh my gosh, they start seeing the world through different eyes. And then they start, if they go on a spiritual thing, in that aspect, they start having to face their own shadows and darkness and purging. And so, of course, I'll say, oopsie, that job doesn't, no, it's not good for you anymore. Or that boyfriend or husband is not meant to be in your life. And so it's a real, it really impacts everything on the planet and people in all ways, as you're seeing. Our systems change. It's all that. People are looking at the systems and thinking, hang on, so it's going to affect how we look at our society as well, as you notice. Challenges, and then depends on the different levels of consciousness we got out there. You've got some very different, and people are being fed purposely being pushed in a certain direction. There's a lot of manipulation going on there of people's consciousness. I've been trying to push them, oh no, that's that, you don't want this, you want that. And they're being, manipulated into whatever direction they want them to go in. So anyway, there we are. All I can say is expect more awakening December, January. And spiritually, I think a lot on the spiritual side, people think the awakening, we're not talking about the awakening, the red pill or blue pill movement nonsense. That's a different story. That's not awakening. That's just looking around the world and realizing, oh wow, hell, this is what we've been living under. Yeah, it's not good. Right, there we are. We're talking about awakening to yourself, your true self, the spirituals, the aspect of it. That people are going to be drawn more to, as the veil drops. So we're going to see a surge in spiritual awakening next year. Wow. So I don't know how that's going to play out. We have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting. It does concern you because as I say, as people wake up, they start on the bottom level. And then you start seeing your own darkness and fears. It's projected out there. So we're going to see more fear, more paranoia, more this, more that, more everything until they rise above that. And, the loss of friends, loss of relationships, the whole thing, your whole life can, start being, your whole life gets shaken up, yeah. Yeah, they're not defects. No one's got defects. You're perfect. Everyone's perfect. You just realize that you need to change some things or heal. You'll look at your life in a more benevolent way. So more integrity, more honesty, more love, more kindness, more compassion. But we still have a lot of work to do. You can see the darkness being pushed out because here's an example. This is very sad. You can see, and these people are being manipulated into the bad's only over there. There's just the dark. There's hi, morning. Thank you. So here's an example, right? People are being manipulated and distracted by a lot of stuff on social media and also told that these are the good guys, those are the bad guys, and this and that and being pushed along a certain way. And they're not, because they're so in it, they're not actually realizing that they're being led exactly where they want them to go. Problem, solution, whatever, anyway, never mind. So I'm watching all this, I'm thinking, oh, okay. But what is disturbing me is that you can see, and so they think, oh no, it's just a few dark people, that everything's fine. They don't look at themselves. They're being distracted from going within. So this is why more light's coming. It will clear. We need to increase it. But which is sad. You can see that society, the problem still they don't look at is with well, we got a lot of work to do. We have a long way to go, people. I saw something on, I think it was Facebook this morning, a post, one of the local newspapers or something, posted about, it's sad. No, it's damaged people. It's people with shadow, hurt, damaged people, trauma, childhood trauma, karma. I mean, past life is just shit. I mean, thousands of years, yeah? You've got past lives, you've got childhood trauma, you've got, generations of the shit of dark energy and shadows and attachments, who knows, whatever, in their own closet. Every being's different. I don't know them. So you can see it reflected out there badly. So I saw this local thing, and it was talking about poverty. There's people in this one town we are really battling. There's so much poverty that people are struggling to feed their children, and really, obviously, we know that. It's been the UN did a report in the UK. There's some real problems here, which has been very swept under the carpet. My description. Oh, yes, I did. I won the lottery in the light department, not material department, but in the light department. Absolutely, I won the lottery when it comes to source, the divine, the light. Oh yes, absolutely. Anyway, let me get back to that. Sorry, your comment distracted me. So, what I saw, which is really sad, under this article saying, how I think it was Salvation Army, how they've got such a problem and how many families are so battling. This Christmas they're going to be without food. They really, and this is, the UN did a report on England, and the government Tory party denied it and said, oh, it's nonsense, it's fabricated, that basically it is. It's so bad. It's, we really have massive inequality and problems here, and people don't think because it's hidden. It's all pushed to the quiet. So the Salvation Army was, made a little article saying how these families in this town are really going to battle, And we know that, and it's sad. We have a lot of problems in the world. We need to level up and address. But the way it's being pushed now is purposely the opposite direction, to divide people. No, you must just look after, this is purposely done. Oh, well, you got to look after yourself, and, if you don't, it's your problem. But it's not that simple, people. It's not that simple. So people are is pushing them to have no sympathy. Oh, tough luck, shame, you're a communist, or you shouldn't, whatever, nonsense, all kinds of shit. All I noticed, if you want to see how bad society is, the problem we have, with how much work we've got to do still, on a soul level, is a lot. We've got a long way to go. I saw all the comments under the post. Now, about 280-something people commented, and about 400 people interacted with the post. And what was sad was I saw, out of the 277 comments, or whatever people read, 88 of them laughed. Were nasty. Were laughing at these people, like, ha, they should get a job, or they're losers, or whatever. That kind of, wow. And then you realize now why the world got to where it was, and why we have this problem. Quantum, basically, multidimensional is, which we are. It's all dimensions. We're not one. People are humans. That what we could only see as a 3D, what we were, was a 3-dimensional. So we just thought nothing else exists besides us, and this is what the world looks like, Newtonian physics and all that nonsense. Now they know, no, it's not. It's all entanglement, quantum. We're part of everything. Everything's connected. Whatever. So multidimensional is what we are, if you choose to be. Now, absolutely multidimensional. Our souls are, absolutely. Anyway. Getting back to that, so that made me realize, wow, that now if you're not judgmental thing, don't look at those people and say, oh, they're idiots, they're nasty, they're this and that. They are full of dark, dense energy, trauma, hurt, pain, to lash out and to be that cold, to have that lack of compassion, hurt, anger, hurt people. So understand those people have suffered pain or fear or loss, to be like that, you see. We have a lot of healing needed on this planet, people, please. to send out. And, a lot of these movements are sending out the opposite from healing. They're sending out hate, division, blame, anger. This is nonsense, this communist, and they this, and oh, that, and and it's the government, and whatever. Yeah, it's trying to repeat the crusade, the witch hunt, the inquest, whatever you want to go back, take your pick. Same sort of thing, just a different time, different era, and a different boogeyman, the different bad guy. Let's go and chase them. And they know this is not the case, but they've got an idea behind it. This is the same thing. It's problem, reaction, solution. What they're pushing out to the public, this Red Pill movement, is on purpose to get the reaction that they're getting, because they knew what was going to happen. So they pushed this out. They knew how people would respond to their story. And people are believing it, and they're responding exactly how they want them to respond. It's very, anyway, yeah. We have a lot of work. Yes, observe, not judge. Yeah, it's exactly. And then I just thought, wow. Then you realize, when you look at that and you realize, these are people, and it's one of the worst, poorest areas in Britain, right? The north. It's always been the most neglected, poor areas. Funny enough, they voted Conservative this vote anyway. Don't think they're happy about that one. We know the system is a mess, and it's just business and government. There's no separation anymore between them. So it's surprising. So that's what I'm saying. Understand that where the nastiness came from were people in this area. Wow. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work. There's a lot of work. Yeah. We've got a lot. So depending on every soul and their journey, what they need to do, what they need to learn, and what doesn't, it's going to keep repeating in their lives. It will just keep coming up. Whether it's relationship patterns, whatever it is, until they've learned that lesson or let go or healed, whatever it is. Yeah. Well, go, if you are. You're listening too much, then you're letting the outside affect you. You see, that's what I'm saying. You're buying in. What you haven't learned to do is separate your energy. That outside is not yours. You're buying into that belief or energy, whatever they're feeding you, whatever. If you're getting overwhelmed, you're buying into the fear porn that's been purposely put there to do this to you. They want you to react in a certain way, which people are doing. It's been, yeah. So stop watching it. Because you're just taking it for granted that it's truth. Oh, well, because they're telling us that must be the truth. Because somebody wants a bad guy. They're looking, this is a whole game. Stop buying in this whole thing. Let go of it. Because if it's making you overwhelmed, that means you've bought in truth. You decided, okay, that's the worst. Okay, it's fear, anxiety. Let go of that. Sit and do your prayers. If you are meditation, do your prayers. And I don't know where you are on the beliefs or anything, but then you can ask, as I say, I presume if you're in the West, you'd be. So then call in the angels and ask. Okay, ask for help. Ask for that love. Ask for them to take it. Ask them to show you. Ask them to help healing. Do whatever you need. Don't say I am. And don't say those things. Yeah. Well, that's purposely done. So I'm saying we got to change the system, the whole thing. It's no different to countries. It is I don't know. Sorry, what you're doing. Sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about and what you're trying to release and share, whatever else. But that's, I say, it's your truth. People, you choose. You don't have to choose. Because someone's telling you, or some news, or some person, or some channel, or whatever you're following, doesn't mean it's truth. Doesn't mean you have to accept it as your truth. This is just, it's where people are. Switch. If it's overwhelming you, that means you've got fears. Why? You've got to look at what it is. So if something makes you scared or upset, right? Logically, think about it. I'm at home now. Am I in immediate danger? No. This has triggered some trauma or something. See, it's triggered something in you. Now that is what you're going to look at. Why? And when you can sit down in prayer or meditation and ask them to please show you very clearly that you will, without that you won't misunderstand it, whether it's through knowing, intuition, whether it's through visions, I don't know how you whatever, that you will know, and ask them to please help you and to release it and heal. Okay, there we are. There we are. No, it's people. There's all kinds of media out there. There's games going on. That's all it is. It has a purpose behind it. And if people want to choose, as I'm saying, people look outside, never going in. So if you have any problems, go within. Why are you scared? Why do you decide that's my truth, that's it? Because you've just chosen it. You don't know it's true. You've been told by a media, an outlet, a channel, so-called news thing, whatever it is, that this is the truth. How do you know? That's what I'm saying. There's many versions of the truth. It depends. You choose which one you want to be your truth. And then that will be your reality. That's the problem. See? That's the problem. And you don't want a bad one. This is how it's anyway. This is just what it is. It is what it is, We watch. But this is what we can expect. And you can feel that there's more light coming in, absolutely coming in. There's much more incoming. And it's going to, I would not think, ease off, because we know we have the solstice coming up. Yeah, there we are. Absolutely, you see. Then you're on your dark night of the soul, your ego thing. Don't be frightened. That's what it is. It's pushing up. Every time it's showing you that, ooh, okay. And also having more faith in source. Have faith in your higher self to look after you. And ask for that protection and guidance and whatever. There we are. Faith, that's all it is. It's faith. Knowingness. Okay, so if it is scaring you, what are you hiding from? What are you scared? And don't look outside, because people think when they find, I'm scared because that's going to happen to me, because whatever I heard now on the news or this program told me this is going to, that's weird. But it's actually, go deeper than that, it's actually inside. Okay, because it's triggered that response in you. So something in you, okay, there's something that needs to be healed or let go from. Hi, New Zealand. You're going to have some shaking up there, I see, as well. So we got to hold on. Nothing. What are we going to be scared of? Nothing. Because if you know the truth, you've got nothing to be scared of. Because you don't die, and you cannot die. Never mind, it goes into more than that. And you're divinely guided and protected. See, nobody scares me, I'm afraid, and nothing scares me. And I don't draw it to me, I don't focus on it, I don't choose, oh my gosh, the worst timeline, and believe in it and draw it as my truth. Because what you think, what you project, is what comes to you, energy, what you hold. So you hold only good love and send it out there, and that's what will come into your life. The rest of the world can fall around, so I say, be the eye of the storm around you. And depending on what karma and what you bring to you is what's going to happen to you. So a storm can come and wipe out the neighborhood around me, and I can be sitting here unaffected. You see, that's the difference. Do you choose? Do you want to be dragged into everybody else's storm? No. Don't let what's going on outside there, or someone else's, whatever, drag you in. You've got to face your own fears, your own shadows, your own demons. This is what it is all about. Good, lovely. Yeah, that's synchronicity. That's signs they're trying to tell you. When you're on the right path, you'll see, you'll get these. You'll also know because you'll feel it. When you're doing what your heart wants to do, you'll feel good. You'll feel, aligned, peace. The more you follow it, the more alignment, the more peace, the more, you'll know. You'll know when you're on track. well, the real truth. I mean, this truth to why we exist, who we are as souls and all that. 2020. 2020. Yes, yes. Yes, I am. And I've got it on my TikTok page. Under my bio, it gives you my Facebook page, the name, and then it gives you the link also, say, to the YouTube thing. I upload these to YouTube so people that don't get the lives, or on Facebook, whoever else, who don't watch them, can watch it on YouTube afterwards. So anyway, I'm just giving you a heads up, people. All right. I expect it to, with the amount of incoming light coming in, it's really going to push things. All right. There's a lot of light. There's a lot of light coming into the planet, and it's so we're getting a big surge now for some reason. It's like it's a big surge. Obviously needs more clean out. So a big surge of light's going to be coming in for a little bit now, December. I don't know for how long, probably till the solstice or a bit afterwards. All right. So that is going to have an impact physically on the planet. Whether we'll lose power and grids and all kinds of things, I don't know. But we will see if it have a big CME hits, we will have a big spike. Give it 2 days. On earthquakes will go around the planet, which will also cause a lava, magma, same thing. Just watch, you'll see a pattern. Between the CMEs coming in, solar radiation flares hitting the planet, you'll see a correlation between that, a spike in the earthquakes and volcanic activity, human behavior, the lot, everywhere. So I do expect it's going to... Yeah, you will be. People are waking up, don't know why. People that aren't on this consciously on the spiritual path are also getting woken up in the middle of the night, and they don't know why. The last few nights I'm waking up at 3 and I don't know why. And I'm like, yep. Because your body is recalibrating physically as well. So it's with the amount of light coming in, it's going to aggravate the darkness, people. All right, so those holding dark, dense consciousness and energy are going to behave badly. So we're going to see more of an extreme of the dark behavior. All right. That troubles me, but that's just one of those things. We have beings in here that have too much darkness, and it's going to rattle that cage. And some will release it, so we're going to have the purging, as you see. So we're going to have it's going to get funky, more funky on the planet. All right. But then, as I say, with next year, I think with that amount of light that's going to purge, we're going to see far more people awake, far more people, getting that spiritual, oh, wow, that, whatever. There we are. Yes, absolutely, it is. You've got to just ask now, why are you crying? No, it's not biblical. The Bible actually doesn't tell you about this. So, no, we were all supposed to be the end of the world. We missed that part. We knew. If you want to know who's probably got the best predictions, the ancients, the indigenous, the Aborigines and the Hopi will tell you. Yes, it will be. I know, it's crazy here. Well, I'm now seeing things. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on the planet, and I just, it is worrying. So I do expect things. That's why I say people. Now you got to understand, we'll see the results of this around us on the external, right? So you're going to see maybe on the news more volcanic activities, maybe tsunami, who knows, earthquakes, more volcanic, lava coming out, whatever. We're going to see that, okay? Probably natural disasters, as I did say in my video a while ago. I saw those already. In visions, I was given those, and I saw ones to come. I just don't know the timeline. So we will see things happening on the planet, natural disasters, okay? When? I don't know. And I don't know which timeline. Some we might have averted, depending on the timeline we're on. There's another thing. It's very difficult to know which ones will happen and which won't. But it's normally when I've seen these things, they're pretty accurate. The first lot I got, 2020, the first visions, what I saw happened except for 2. Every other one happened exactly as I saw it, except for 2. So I really hope what I saw does not happen, because it wasn't good. We're going to. So you've got to worry about you. Please, is all I'm saying, is do your inner work, okay? Do your meditation, do your prayers, if you're not managing, don't switch it on, because your soul and everybody else's soul and life has a different journey and path. Some know they came here to leave the planet. So how anybody leaves or dies on this planet, it is an absolute soul path, choice, journey, karmic, whatever else. Okay, they knew it. They knew it before they came here. So yes, people will die. But that's not your soul's path or your soul's choice or journey. You've just got to worry about you, do your healing, do your clearing, do your forgiveness, to get rid of your karma, Don't buy into that. Don't jump into the storm, buy into the drama and the fear and everything else, because that's going to drag you into that timeline, into that. You don't want to be part of it. You don't want to be, you know what I mean? There we are. No. And no, besides gut feelings, besides your instinct, besides your intuition, yeah, that was always very good. Kept me alive. My intuition was there, but I wasn't then, because I hadn't had my spiritual awakening. I wasn't clairvoyant, so I couldn't astral travel, remote view, psychically tap into things, communicate with things, get shown, ask and get shown future, go to Mars, whatever I want. No, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I was just being a human. And I was, getting a gut instinct, like, don't do that, do this, yeah. Yes. So do what I don't know because everybody's different. If you are frightened, there is so much help out there. Get on but it's pure intent. Understand, people say, oh, but I ask and nothing happens, Well, there we are, because you're praying, oh, please help me, please help me. No, you're not in a state of fear. Claim that grace. Ask for that help then, okay? Ask for that help and protection. You ask, but you've got to mean it. So you can get on your knees if you want to, on your prayers, and whatever. It doesn't have to be on your knees. You could sit in prayer, meditation, quietness, but you have got to ask for that help. You've got free will. You've got to reach out and say, please, source or greater, right? Or angels, whoever you want to ask then. Help me. Okay, guide me. Not from a place of fear. Oh, but I don't want to do anything. No. You've got to willingly want to. Okay. Change. Start with your forgiveness and start with it's just self-work. That's all it is. Ask for that guidance. Ask them to show you what you need to do, what you need to change to be a better person, to heal, to whatever. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the tower again is. I'm not sure. 2012, yes, that was the beginning of it. The beginning of the new epoch, the new energy. Yeah, it's amazing. It is. It's purging. What we're seeing now is the heart chakra coming on. So the ones that are on this path is great, because they're going to have more opening of the heart chakra. They're going to be more unity. You'll see the ones that are really doing this, right? You will see more unity, more peace, calm, heart chakra. So yes, you're going to see two extremes. The positive, right? Those are more love, more light, more calm, those people. Then you've got the other ones that are, in their absolute darkness and fear. They don't want to see. Their own darkness is so frightening, they can't face it. That's why they're terrified of outside, because what's in them is more frightening. As within, so without. It's projection. Yeah, the energies are intense. So there we are. But I knew this was coming. So I did know that we were going to have a bumpy time, it was coming sort of, yeah. It was, it's because we've got to go through this. Just look at that. Just look back in the last few years, people's behavior online. You know how much hate speech and bullying and people were cyber stalked, and we had teenagers committing suicide. It was really bad. We had all this anger projection. Our society was so bad. We got into such a low way that everything was, we're at the lowest of the low. We saw the worst of everything, right? The rise in poverty, the rise in inequality, the rise of suicide, the rise of mental health, everything at the highest. Pollution, really. So it had to come to, right, that's it. Poof. We made a choice. We wanted, So now in order to do this, we need to get rid of all those things. So it's wow. On a higher level, yes. So this is just, cleanup time. So just be an observer. Okay, that's the best. People are going to try and drag you into it, guilt you, shame you. Oh, you should be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be. No. Follow your own guidance and things. Your soul and your soul journey is unique to yourself. And you will be drawn to do different things. Some have been drawn to share and talk out much, whatever. Others are not. Everybody, just follow what yours is. That's all that matters. What you are called, what you feel in your core, your heart. And if it's from a place of fear and you haven't enough healing, then you're going to be, affected by the outside. Feel you have to protect yourself from something. But if you are there, already divinely guided in the light, you won't have to protect yourself from anything, because you'll understand that you're the one who's creating whatever you want, in your life. And you will be divinely guided and whatever, anyway, doesn't matter. That's a whole, All right. So brace yourselves, people. I'm looking forward to next year. As I say, this, but you do understand the spiritual path is bumpy, because when they first start, it's like, oh wow, you wake up and it's amazing. You realize, okay, there's angels and yes, and these things are real. You realize all that, but then you start, once they've sort of shown you that the lights come in, then it also starts pushing out your shadows. So then you've got to go to healers and have things removed, and a past life and attachments and this and that, and do your shadow work. Then, if you want to, the death of the ego as well. A lot of people haven't. They've done the awakening, they're here, but they stay there. They haven't willingly wanted to release the judgment, the ego. The I, me, myself, I, the pride, the arrogance, the ego. That's all ego. That's all, wow. You're welcome. Thank you. Wow, I know it's just, so you have love and compassion, absolute love and compassion for everybody's journey, okay? Because they all are brothers, all our sisters, they all are, we're all one. And you know how hard it is to go through that, to face it's very difficult, people. It's very painful, the healing thing, on the lives you've got to go through and heal, and the past lives, and the childhood trauma comes up, and some people have a massive, just be grateful. Some people's caches are really bad. Wow. And they're stuck in this karmic cycle of darkness, and it is so hard to break, so do not judge them. Yeah, do not judge them, because could you imagine how much darkness you are stuck in? And then that karma always keep repeating, and you keep coming back into lives, and you just have this suffering and misery, because you're stuck in this very dark cycle, because it is so hard to step out of that darkness, to face your own darkness, because now you've accumulated so much dark, dense energy, your soul, and your, and who knows, and attachments, and this and that. So, wow, all right. Have sympathy, because they are brothers, they are sisters, they're part of us. We need to help them we need to be the light and help them out of the darkness, okay? Not throw stones and point fingers and throw more darkness on them, or project more darkness on them. Oh, they're idiots. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. They need light. They don't need any more darkness and any more hate, shunted from us. People that are doing dark things need light, love, and compassion to break the cycle of darkness and karma they're in. Yes, exactly. And be so thankful. Gratitude, thank you. Thank you. Always do your blessings and gratitude and thanks, okay? Because there's so much to be blessed, There's so much to be grateful for. Wow. And it's just awesome. Okay. And know that you are loved and you are divinely guided, and ask. And you've got so many beings of light there that are willing to help you. If you call out and ask for the help for your highest and greatest good, from a place of love and compassion, always for your highest, ask for that help. It is so there for you now, especially in this current time. Okay. There is so much help out there. You have to ask, because you've got free will. Okay? And you've got to mean it, or you can forget it. It won't happen. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. It can take some people they ask God to please, okay, you're there, please show me. And they get an instant, wow. But then they really mean it and they're desperate. Or some people can take 3 days. And then some people also expect it to be in a certain way. Maybe it comes in a sign, in a vision, a bird, a knowing, a voice in your head, or you see an angel. You know what I mean? It's different for everybody. So don't have it. Just ask him to show you clearly that there's no misunderstanding, whatever you want, okay? Or to help you, or to make you feel, you'll feel that love, you feel them around you, whatever it is. Okay. It's not about, that's what I'm saying, there's no separation. There's no separation. There's no separations, I'm saying. And that's the saddest thing. Those are our brothers and sisters, right? That came here to play Earth like you, and that went through some of these lives and didn't manage to overcome their shadow or their darkness or whatever happened to them in past lives. I mean, we've been burned, tortured, even the most horrendous lives you've been through. They didn't overcome it. So they accumulated that dark energy. The next life, I mean, so could you? All they do, they got stuck in the game. They got so separated from this, who you are, God, the Creator Source. That's all. And they just, this is the sad thing. So they are now stuck in that. They've become the darkness. All they know is darkness. All right. Because they're too frightened to step out of it. Sad. Yeah. There we are. So there's it. Don't throw hate at them. Don't throw anger at them. Don't throw anything at anybody. Only love, prayers, light, compassion, understanding. All right, for the world, for everything anyone's going through. And be thankful that it's not you. All right. Yes, exactly. Oh, you've all been, and you've been the perpetrator too. Thank you. You've been all of those things in your life. That's the thing you're not remembering. Your cash, they're not going to show you things. When people remember things, right? They show you things what's for your highest good at that time. So maybe it's like, okay, when you first wake up, it's maybe if you've got energies you haven't sorted out, or past lives you haven't completed, they will show you those. Absolutely. So they're going to show you, or it's going to keep coming in this life, like hint, you need to look at this, recurring dreams or past life. These are going to come up. But it changes as you go. You see, so they're not going to show you things that are also negative for you. They're only going to show you all your bad lives. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's so, yeah. Some things, as you know, they won't show you because it's too. If you're not ready for it, it's too traumatic, too upsetting. It's just going to make you in a low energy, and it's not beneficial for you to see. So some past lives, those of you that have been to Akashic readers will know they're all chained up in books and the bottom dungeon around the corner, because those were really radical lives you went through, and it was too traumatic for you to remember. They won't show you, because when you left the body as a soul, you did your healing on there, or they, sorting it out for you, because your soul's been around a long time. So you've been through some nasty things, see, and some I've seen, but then I was exactly because I was open to accepting them, understanding by that stage now that if that happened to me, that I knew and I'd chosen that life. So I chose to experience being abducted and murdered and whatever. These things. So I could, know what it's like. I allowed it, yeah, as it wouldn't have happened. So I forgave, the beings and all that did it, Yes, we all are. Yes, there we are. Exactly. It's beautiful, isn't it? This gratitude to, wow, such gratitude to the beauty around us. It's everything. We should be. That's how we were. Well, that's how we should be, how we were, and how we were taught when we first came to Earth. This is how we were taught by this star family. Exactly. Anyway. As we wake up, we realize that a lot of stuff is under our nose and it's so obvious and we just didn't get it. We're like, oh my gosh, it's so obvious, but it's been there all the time. But you just didn't notice it. You're like, oh, wow, okay. Things start seeing so easy and simple and to solve. If you're not looking at the darkness, you realize, oh, wow, wow, it's just, okay, well then, we just need, you start realizing what you need to change. And it's so simple, but you just didn't see it before because you weren't in a higher level of consciousness. So you wouldn't have thought about it. Simple solutions. You realize, oh, wow, okay, well, we've done some really backwards things and we're living back in a very stupid way. Yes. Yeah. You'll all be drawn by that. All right, so there's a heads up. Okay, expect more light. I mean, it's been a really it's a rough week or two. Still I mean, like last night I was like, bing, here I am. Oh my gosh. So literally I slept from about 2. I went to sleep at 4 again. Then I got woken up at 7:30 by the fire alarm. And bumped into the fire brigade on the stairs. I'm like, what are you doing here? Okay, I'm still in my pajamas. And I wanted to go back to sleep. I was like, okay, no fire, no fire, whatever that noise. It was very annoying, that noise. So luckily I went to look what it was. I would have slept through the building burning down. So, funny. So I decided I want to go back to bed, but yeah, it didn't work. So I'm having coffee now. And that I stopped drinking coffee because of these energies. You can't. I mean, I'm wide awake. But because I had so little sleep and I'm like so buggered, I thought, okay, let me just have a coffee this morning just to get me through the day. I'm sure I'll be sleeping early tonight. Yes, we will. We will. But we know, we've been through this before, so we know, we all been through one of these. So I can feel the body absolutely at the moment. Physically, the cells, every cell in your body, you can feel them, you can see them changing, vibrating. Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, I don't drink coffee, I don't do meat, I don't do coffee, I can't do dairy anymore. But the dairy and I love dairy. Oh my gosh. But it does not agree with me. And it never has this life. When I was a kid, I used to overdo it. I overdid it. And then I got to my 20s, it was like, no, it doesn't like me anymore. Leave it. And because I liked it so much, I would leave it a bit, and I'd, keep cheating, keep going back there. But it's a no. Yeah, I do ghee. Yeah, but yeah. Look, I know, and even Rita, the healers will tell you, no, I'm not supposed to stay away from the dairy. Yeah, I'm not supposed to do dairy for my. No, everyone's different. Remember, don't think you have to be a vegan now or thing. It's not actually for everybody, or vegetarian or fruit. Some people will be fruit. It depends on your past lives, your cash, that your physical body is used to. So you've had many lives on this planet, maybe, say more Asian food suits you or more. It's going to be different for everybody. So you'll follow your own intuition and your higher self, what it tells you your body needs. See? But dairy and no, meat was because of the souls kept appearing in front of me. You do your thanks, so you bless your food. So you thank Gaia, thank the soul. Okay, so you sit in front of your fruit and you say, thank you for this, beautiful abundance. And then when I was eating meat, you would sit there and you say, oh, thank you for giving your life for me, like the ancients do. And they still do. Our indigenous people still do that, right? So because I was one of them, we've been so many of them, I did the same thing at Cave. So I was sitting there and the soul, literally, the soul of that animal would literally appear in front of me. So I'm thanking the cow, and there the cow is, and thank you. And eventually, I think I told you the story. And then eventually, the last thing I ate was a pie. I wasn't eating much meat anyway, but the last thing I had was a pie. And I was eating this pie, meat pie. And next, and I was saying, thank you for giving your life, same thing, like being grateful, being blessing the food, whatever else. And I saw all these cows, and I just tasted this, my mouth just tasted blood. It was like stale, death. It was disgusting. I spat it out. I mean, literally, it was it came out. And the smell, the taste, so it was like, so they were trying to get me to know slowly, no, this is not, we're not supposed to be killing and eating the flesh of other beings, sentient beings. They have souls, but they were trying to get there, but gently, they're not, there's no judgment here, but they were pushing me there. That's what I say, until the point where I was like, ugh. Now on a spiritual level, I cannot do it. You realize you're actually eating the dead. It's like me. Can you imagine me now clubbing you and eating your flesh? This is what we're doing. We're eating the dead flesh of other animals and beings and their DNA, which is not meant to be in our body. So I was like, so consciously, from the right or wrong aspect, that is now, But they got the point so clearly. It was so disgusting. That pie, it was disgusting. It was like I was in an abattoir. They did a good job on me. I mean, it tasted, smelt, and saw it. I was like, oh, and I spat that pie out. It was, even now when I, to handle it, other people, to handle their dead meat or whatever, and the smell, the thing, I'm so, oh. You're so not used to it, and you're so off it. It's like, it does. You realize, you see it differently. You realize you are handling a piece of being's dead body, flesh, We're so detached from supermarkets, it's all done in the abattoir and we pack it nicely that we don't see the dead. This is a living thing that is dead. It's meat, it's body. It's like your leg. So when I see it now, it's like me handling a piece of, say, your thigh, it's like, oh, it's like, it's murder, really, So sorry, that's where I'm not judging any of you. You do and follow your guidance and what you need to do and where you are. Maybe your body, you might, who knows? I don't know. So it's not a thing that's saying you're not supposed to, and no. This is what happened to me and what they sort of did to me and showed me, and I was like, So there we are, people. I can't do it. So coffee was taken away from me as well because I can't sleep. Well, literally, it's too much, the caffeine. No dairy, although I do cheat, I still do, and it does not work on me. Oh, well, do I have problems in my stomach? It's like, no. Really doesn't agree with you. So you might find you have allergies or develop problems to food. It's normal, okay? Your body's recalibrating for what your highest good and everything else. Yeah, it is disgusting. The smell of it even smells, you never noticed it before when you were doing it. You were a meat eater. You don't have it, you don't handle it, and when you smell it, it's like, it's a dead flesh. It's oh. Yeah. Now, they did a good job of getting me to stop eating meat. And I would have never stopped eating meat. You'd asked me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, never. I was a full-on meat eater. I was like, oh, no, I love it. And the taste of it, nothing like a good steak. Now you're going to be out of your mind. It's like, no. Psychologically, I know what it is, It's, I don't know, they're knowing that it's there. It's yeah. But everyone has to reach there in their own time. And who knows what their path is, their cash, their conscious, who knows, level of consciousness or anything. And that, yeah. There we are, beautiful people. So hang in there, please, and don't attach to the storm. Don't get dragged into the storm that's going to be out there, because understand some people have got some real storms in them. All right, and those storms are going to be, it really worries me. Especially with the games going on out there. It's purposely doing that. It's sparking, it's pushing up there, and it's going to exacerbate that paranoia, that fear in them that's going to, and we need to help them. So please send them love and light, all right, and compassion for those ones that are, in the darkness, because you must understand, to have that much fear and darkness in you, whoa, you must have experienced some horrendous things as a soul. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Pets, exactly. Same thing. Nothing wrong with pets. They're here as our companions. They're meant to be. They're here. Their souls chosen to be companions to us. They're companions to humans. Yeah. They're amazing. They choose you. I have nothing wrong with having a pet. Absolutely not. As long as you don't. As long as you treat it, you know what I mean? It's how you treat anything. You're loving it and loving it. That pet is in heaven. Yes, thank you. Yes, for now, yep, I am. I settle very easily because remember, I did contract work for quite a long time. So I was allowed 50 kgs. So I traveled with 2 suitcases and a small one, which is almost. And, you would be based somewhere for 3 months and everything you needed had to be in those suitcases. So I got so used to living out of suitcases and going to foreign countries. Right, I'm living there for a few months. I'm off. I'm there for a few months. So me traveling and living here and living there, I never had a home. It was like, a camp, a hotel room or whatever it was. There was just... So for me, yes, I must say it was the first time I've moved in a long time and since I was ill. So physically, I took a lot of strain. It was difficult for me. It was very difficult for me. I struggled. I realized then that the damage that was done to the physical body was not healed. And I took strain. I have to manage. I know. I have to manage my rest, my sleep, my stress, because the physical vessel is not, yeah. Can't anymore. It was, otherwise I left the planet last year. And so I have to really take it easy. I'm going to manage how much sleep I get. Stress, exercise, all those things. Oh, love horses, yeah. Absolutely my passion animals. Yeah. I've got to watch it but I suffer from physical damage, you see. So I then have problems cognitively with my speech. I can't have problems with my speech because I have got damage to the heart and to the brain and to the physical. The physical vessels got a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage done to it. So it's like, here we are. We on extra time. So I have to now, which was I never was looked after in that aspect. I ate well and I was fit and all that nonsense, but so now I have to take care of the physical vessel. Now you love and care for the vessel. Now we care what we put into it and we make sure we know balance. I never had a balanced life. Right now, it's there. And if I don't have a balanced life, I have a problem. Literally, I have I have problems, real. So yes. Yes, no, well, mine, I can see the difference actually. The damage that happened and everything that happened 3 years ago, whatever else, it aged me so dramatically. Well, I mean, I was going to die last year. And the physical damage it caused to the body, the mental, emotional, so wow, it did. I can see the effect it had on the physical, everything. I mean, I aged in the last 3 years dramatically. And you can see what it did to the physical vessel, never mind on the inside. So yes, it really took it out of me. It took, well, there we are. I was meant to have left the planet last year. That was it. It was my exit time. But through grace, I have extended it on the planet. This is why I take care of myself now, and I got to really manage rest, sleep, no stress, this and that, balanced diet, everything. This is the same thing. I don't know, the same path. It just comes to like your food changes. Well, first of all, there we are. Heart. I was going. That's they've linked oxygen to your heart. So your breathing is the most. People think, okay, high blood pressure, genetic genes have more impact. The effect of you maybe having a heart attack, having a stroke. No, your breathing. That was the most interesting study I found out. Your breathing has more of a determined to link on your heart. Anyway, so you can imagine. So basically, last year, my leaving the planet, dying, and how I was going to die or die, whatever. Just had a trial run. I kind of skipped it. Was my heart stopped. I had a heart attack. I had heart failure. So last year, that was me. The heart was poof, gone. Anyway, who knows? So maybe that's why, I don't know. They want to keep me on the planet, right? So we need to stop smoking. We need to stop breathing. It's amazing. And you can see, you can reverse your aging. It's amazing what it does for the body. You start breathing properly and from the belly. It's incredible. So yes, no, I'm now very good to take, everything's about balance. And now there is balance, or you see this now, so there's no choice now. Balance, I have to balance, manage my health, or I lose physical balance and cognitive problems, speech problems if I'm ever tired, because I can't, it affects the brain. So the damage, it plays up. I can't think properly, my memory, and I have problems speaking. Literally, seriously. There we are. So there we are, who knows? Thank you. So there we are. I'm blessed. I've extended my stay on the planet. And I didn't exit then. That was one of a timeline, and it was karma, and the path I'd led was leading me off the planet there and then. Yes, you're welcome. You too. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying, You won't if you haven't done your healing. See? All right, lovely people. I'm sure my little bit of coffee left is cold, and it's raining. It's really grey out there and raining, and there goes any idea of walking today, exercise. I suppose not a bad thing because I didn't exactly have much sleep. But I mean, the energy is up. My body is buzzing. Every cell in my body is buzzing. Oh my gosh. So I don't see us sleeping for a while, but I can feel the pressure even. Physical pressure, it's like so there's big incoming coming in, or high frequency, because I can actually feel, it's like it's like pressure being put on the physical vessel. You go in a pressure chamber, or like the bends they use for diving. So if you go and dive, I don't know who swims, if you go and dive, and the deeper you dive, you feel like there's pressure You can feel the physical force of on your body. Now, this is what I'm feeling right now talking to you. So I don't know what came into the planet. It feels like I can feel the buzzing all around me. Besides, last night I saw the light and frequencies and color. Wow. So I know there's higher frequencies coming in, or a spike in the Schumann resonance, something's coming. But I can feel there's pressure being exerted around me from the atmosphere, whatever, right? Around on the physical vessel. So I presume we got hit with a big CME or a spike in the Schumann. Something happened. I don't know. I haven't looked. I wouldn't even know where to find it anymore. All right. So yeah, I know with this incoming, we're going to see effects on the planet. And oh, please. But I do understand if we do have big losses of life in natural events, which some of the things I'm hoping didn't happen, but I do understand that the souls that came to the planet and that will maybe die in those circumstances, like others, knew and chose that, okay? All right. So if you do see something that's really upsetting outside, right, remember, it's not your energy. Like a 9/11 event, right? We all sat there and traumatized, and oh my gosh, we felt that empathy, we felt that fear, passion. We took in that energy ourselves. When you see something like this happening on the news now, do not take in that energy. Understand it happened for a reason, and the souls that died in that event knew they were going to, before they came here, they saw it and chose, okay, to die that way. All right. Send out love, compassion. Be the observer. But it's not your path. It's not your loss. It's not your thing to take on. Their families, everything was connected. Everything happens for a reason, okay? And it's for a divine purpose. But you don't understand. Okay, so as an empath, no, we don't take on energy, because that's not taking on their energy. Empath, like, oh my gosh, I feel their pain. That's dysfunctional. That's not managing your energy. That is not empathic. We can love and have empathy for their journey, see their journey. We understand it's their journey. We don't take on their pain and suffering and energy. Lowering it's not yours to take. That's the difference, okay? Yeah, don't. But then, you don't have to. You should be able to watch it without separate yourself. As I'm saying, it's not yours. Watch it as an observer. Do not take on, okay, you don't have to even believe any of it. Don't take it on. So make a conscious decision. If I'm watching this, I am not taking on any of the energy, just as an observer. Instruct your higher self that you are watching as an observer. This is not my truth, my energy, my thing. Do not take on, okay, any external truth, energy and things as mine. All right. It's not. There we are. Yeah, that's not good. You can feel, but no, you shouldn't be emotional. We don't have to touch with emotions. See, that's a difference. But it's part of the journey. You've got to get there. All right. Raise yours and then your frequency and things is up enough and nobody else will affect you. You will not be affected by anybody else's energy, because yours overrides theirs completely. See? Okay. Yeah, we don't. All right, we send them love, and we know. Remember, we're not here to rescue anybody. They don't need rescuing. They have divine guidance. There's no difference between them and you. They have the same amount of angels, light beings, standing there willing to help, okay? They have their own higher self. They're exactly the part of source. They're divinely guided. We don't need to rescue them and intervene. They choose this. This is a life and a path and a lesson they have chosen they need to experience or learn from, just like you are doing. So that's why I say never compare yourself to another soul. All right? Never. Only worry about fixing yourself. Because you fix yourself, you heal those around you, you change the frequency of vibration, you're lifting up the collective, you're helping everybody. Yeah. Exactly. We help everybody. We spread that. All right. That's how we help them. This is how we help those stuck in the darkness. See? Because eventually the light will tip it. And there will be no. We've got to tip it off. All right. There's going to be more light than there is darkness. All right. There we are. It'll be higher. It'll override it. All right. Lovely people. I really think I want to have some coffee. Maybe shower. Wake me up even more. You have a wonderful day, morning, evening, wherever you are, okay? And stay in love. Stay in faith, belief. And if you are frightened, ask for that help and ask them to surround you. But don't focus on it and trust it then, because then you don't have belief. Then it's saying, oh, yes, please help me, but you know, you will get there. Okay, know it. And if you don't really mean it, well, then that's a difference. It has to be from your pure intent and from your heart, okay? And it will be answered. All right. Love you lots. Bye.